integration messed up our community. We messed up our community. We were in a position now where we could really do something for our people. We had Jim Crow laws removed. We could walk and chew gum. We could move somewhere else and still contribute to our community. But we didn't do that. We lost our mind. We got happy. Man, we started making money. My generation, that's my generation. 60s. I came up in the 60s in Harlem, seeing Malcolm X on the corner with a shootbox. I was standing on a shootbox with a microphone. People standing around. I was so wrapped up in it that I'm the kind of person where I cannot even live a normal life without doing something for my people. I can't do it. There's no way I can sit back and live really rich and comfortable and see the condition of my people. I can't do it. See? And so here's where I'm not the only one. There's other brothers and sisters like that. See? I don't know, maybe from the year I was born, 55, that was the year F.N. Tillman got beat up, murdered. The picture was all over the news. When all that stuff happened, that was the beginning of the civil war after the year I was born. And that year, when I came up in the 60s, man, everything was like, America was like on fire. The news all over, riots everywhere, you know. The world seeing dogs sick upon innocent children marching, and it was some type of really a fiery time. But the fire of that generation still exists. There's still those of us that still exist, and we're going to be gone soon. And my goal before I leave the planet is to have a program where we can have families, honest working families. Not the indigent, not the homeless, they got people helping them already. Honest working people, trying their best. A husband, wife, a couple shacking, got a kid, thinking about they want to get in a home, start a family life. They ain't got no help. And so here is where we come in. So we are targeting a $1.2 trillion market. And the segment that we're targeting is honest working black people. And we know what they go through because we are there. See? And we know ourselves more than anybody else. And so the goal is we got the formula. We got the answer. We're talking about, let's just real quickly go to sort of like the back page. Let's see. Page number 9. Go to page number 9. The mutual economic benefits from implementing the collective economic vision for 300 H.E.S.T working families. The acronym H.E.S.T is Holistic Economic Strategic Team. So that's what we're dealing with. We're creating a holistic economic strategic team. That's the approach that we're using. And like our brother said, Mark, we can't keep doing what we did in the past. If we want what we never had, we got to do what we've never done before. See? And we are in a position to do that. See? Now, of all the people here, especially in this city, in the black community, this brother here, Burgess, Sunshine we call him, he would be the one I feel trustworthy to work with me with the money. See, we'll have him as a treasurer. See, hopefully he would accept that, you know. because he's this is a good man here, okay? I knew him for years, and he stayed focused, and he built his business up and we all know it. And a lot of people know it. And they respect him. Yep. I know I do. And I trust him with my food, so I trust him with my life.
Right.
Okay? If I can trust him with my life, I can definitely trust him with my money. Okay? Now, because it's very important that we have that in place, that we know, because this is about money. And when black people start dealing with money, all of a sudden, if it's out in the church, they have a different rule. We don't know. We're not used to it. We're just not used to it. The only time we deal with money most of the time is in the church, unless you're a small business. Now, if you're a business owner, it's different. Business owners, we're on another level because we live by faith. You gotta be living by faith. You believe in your ability. You go out there and you try to do it. That's walking by faith, not by faith. Because there ain't no guarantees you're gonna get a check. You gotta make it happen. And if you got a good formula, you can become very wealthy in America.
You don't kill it.
That's why everybody want to come to America. Huh?
I said, as a business owner, that's what I live by every day. If you don't kill it, you don't eat.
Right, you don't kill it, there it is.
Right,
See?
yep.
And that's the kind of reality we want to deal with, because that's real. We don't want to deal with the illusion. Yeah? See, we've been lied to. Let me just say one thing about a lie. A lie is never a mistake. Whenever someone tells you a lie, it's always intentional. Always intentional. And the liar knows the truth. And he willfully hide it from you. Okay? They will hide it from you. And they will give you an illusion of reality. Like the woman who is telling her husband, baby, I love you. You're so wonderful to me. I love you so much. But little do her husband know that she is sleeping with his best friend. Yes.
I have a question about item E here on page 9.
Oh, yes.
About putting families in position to purchase automobiles or homes with no credit score worry.
Yes.
The dilemma with that is, if you take a look at the housing boom before the crash, if you look at a lot of things that happened during that time, it really was a form of economic discrimination. When you allow people to own homes or vehicles without being credit worthy, it's a form of economic discrimination, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And in most situations, not all, in most situations, your credit score is a direct indicator of your responsibility with your finances. And what happened prior to the housing boom is that there were a lot of programs that were available for people who may not have been credit worthy, and people who may not necessarily have had the income for those homes. And the plan all along was to get them into the homes and get them into the vehicles, because you knew that there would come a point where they weren't going to be able to afford it. And so now you can go and you can snatch it back from them, because you knew that they were never going to be able to own that property to begin with. And so now that you've snatched it from them, they don't have the property, and now that also goes on their credit, which continues to keep them even more economically disadvantaged, right? And so what would be your thoughts on maybe creating a program that could help families who are not necessarily credit worthy, that would help them become educated on credit and how to use it, and have them become credit worthy, and then as a result of completing that program and becoming credit worthy, you're now eligible for one of these homes or for one of these vehicles, because now we put you into this, and now we know that you're going to be responsible with it. You have the money to be able to take care of it, and you understand how your credit works, so that this corporation doesn't implode in the same way that a lot of other holding companies imploded with the housing.
Very good, very good. Let me make a comment on that, because we're dealing with the bubble. That's the bubble that took place in what was called the Great Recession. And you call it the Depression, they call it the Great Recession. And it started in 2007 and ended in 2009. So Obama, he said that he was going to deal with trying to get the country back in order, so we get out of that situation we were in, and trying to get it back together. Well, let me just say this. When you're dealing with the traditional, conventional approach to economics, that is a system that is a human arrangement. And all human arrangements is designed to benefit those who make that human arrangement. See? And this human arrangement that we're dealing with is the 1% of America. They're the ones who are dealing with that arrangement, because they are the ones that literally are controlling the banks with the other Fed members around the country. They have an international banking cartel, you know, and so here's what happens now. The credit score, they create the credit score concept, and the credit score concept is really designed to ensure that you're credit worthy, right? But you notice that they don't take stuff off your credit unless you insist on it. A lot of times, you know, you're trying to get your credit together, and a lot of times you got all these programs to get your credit together. You want to get your money, your life together, you need to get your credit together. That's the first thing they tell you, right? Get your credit together. Getting the credit together only can put you in the predatory debt to predatory money lenders. See? Now, if a person has been paying a rent for a year and another year, they've been constantly working and paying rent. They qualify to be in an apartment complex. Today, to qualify to be in an apartment complex, you got to make sure that you can't live in an apartment complex unless you meet a certain criteria, right? What's the criteria, you know?
3 times the rent amount.
Huh?
You have to be able to earn
Right.
at least 3 times
All
the
that kind of, just live in an apartment, right? Well, we got black people living in apartments, and they got bad credit scores because of what's going down. A lot of us got bad credit scores from the time we were out of high school. We got that first credit card. I remember I got a pair of tires when I was first out of high school, 18 and Firestone. I said, wow, I got it free with a car. Man, that thing, I didn't pay it right, and that thing stayed on my car. I had to eventually take care of it, you know. But this is what happens is, you can meet that criteria and pay your rent, and that's what we're doing every year. So here's our rationale, because we're thinking outside the box, because we know that the system ain't working for us. Our rationale is that if you could pay your rent and meet the criteria to be in an apartment, we can put you in a home for the amount that you are paying for rent to pay for a home, and you pay your own company now. See, now you got help, and we're not asking you for a down payment because we know that you ain't got that kind of money, you know, and we're not asking you for your credit score. We know that that's bad. That's why you're in the apartment. See, and we know that literally billions of dollars a year is being spent on apartments by black people in America. 1,000 people spend $1 million a month. So that money we can capture. Now here's the thing, looking at it from her angle, because she brought out a very good point. We don't want to implode. So what happens if we put a family in the home, right? Let's walk this through. We put a family in a home, and they say, well, I'm having hard times with to make my mortgage payment, right? Well, here's the thing. In our 300 families, we'll have 30 groups of 10 people. And every group of 10 families will have a team leader. And that team leader will assist them to deal with what's going on in their lives and sort of things, like a help, you know. A lot of us are already facilitating people's lives. They call you up for advice. I know you are an opinion leader. I would say that every one of us here are opinion leaders. We got people that call us up and ask us for advice because they respect our opinion. And we give it to them. And sometimes we will spend hours on the phone helping them trying to go through a problem because we love them or we're concerned about them. So we're already kind of helping each other. So we're looking at, if you got a problem, we got 300 families, you having financial problems, well, you need to let us know. We tell you, when you go through this program, to the housing program, we want to know if you are having financial problems. We need you, with your team, yes.
Yeah, I wanted to interject because she made a very valid point, but you kind of scratched the surface. The original intent was to put them in houses that they could not afford. So with our program, we're hoping to, as you pay 3 times we will have criteria which they have to meet. Now, as you know, things do happen, people lose their jobs and all that. You can't really foresee those type of things. But Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they deliberately, it was deliberate predatory lending. They deliberately put you in houses that
so
you
could be in debt.
We're not, this program here, we're hoping that how we will orchestrate it. You will not be placed in a house that you can't afford. You can't work at McDonald's and live in a $300,000 house.
Right.
So that you have to admit, they deliberately did that. So in there, the plan was already one that was doomed to fail.
Right.
Because they knew that they could sell, and many of the Freddie Mac, they were selling off their loans. They were selling off your loans to other companies. And so they were making their money by just pushing your loan on someone else.
Everybody making money.
Exactly. So I think that to prevent from that type of implosion, that you can only get in a house, let's face it, you gotta live within your means. You have to learn that. We are people that struggle with that. So this whole plan, I think going forward, there will be constraints and restraints on this. You cannot get in a house you can't afford. So maybe it is time for you to just stay in the apartment for the time being.
Mm.
Maybe we can get you a better apartment deal. But the point is to not put people in homes that they cannot afford.
Gotcha.
So we will have that type of.
And that's where the rent comes in. See, working families living in apartments, meeting that criteria, which is so high now. I mean, the criteria is damn,
It's
like,
ridiculous.
it's really strenuous.
I mean, if-
You gotta take care of your business. You can't move into an apartment complex
Yeah.
if you ain't taking care of your business. So if you got an honest working family and living in an apartment, and they wanna get into a home, hey, they qualify.
Okay.
They won't pay the rent. But if they don't, because it's always good to have a contingency plan, always look at the worst case scenario. Let's say that person lose their job and can't pay, but before that happens, you got a mechanism, a human relation component. The team leader, you tell your team leader, I'm having problems, I'm gonna lose my job. Well, we got 300 people who put the word out. Brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so is having a problem. They might need a job. Keep your eyes open. This is their resume. See? We ain't got help now. See? 300 people. And most of the time, people get hired by friends, relatives, people know. It's who you know, not what you know.
Right.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
See? So here's where, and even after that, let's say that person loses the home. Let's say the person just flips the script and just be outright cruel and not want to pay and want to get over. Well, then we have to move them out the house because we got a list of families waiting to get in that home. See? So somebody else would take it. If you're not ready, that's okay. We're not mad at you. You can move, and we got someone to replace your place. They'll come in, everything's free. We got a wait list, so we ain't gonna implode on this. Very good question. Okay, let's move on. Because these are the things, now, these are the benefits. So let's look at these benefits. Page 9, let's look at A. Visualize code. Can someone read A?
Okay.
Visualize.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Visualize co-ownership of profit-making commercial business enterprises, startup businesses and purchased existing businesses, co-ownership of residential and commercial properties.
Okay, everybody can understand that? How we can do that? Y'all see how we can do that? Okay, you do B and you see we just go around.
Okay.
Like that.
Visualize quarterly dividend checks for the rest of our lives as long as the profits are being made from our profit-making commercial business enterprises, residential and commercial properties.
Okay, so we're gonna have residential properties we're buying, and some of the time we'll be buying them for $50 a piece. See, $50. That's $15,000. $50 is 15,300 families. So a friend of mine bought a house in Dallas, real good house, 10 G's. Put 3,000 in that house, and she got it already leased out. Isn't that something?
Wow.
Nice, pretty decent house.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was about to say, if you go to certain tax sales at certain times,
Right,
you know,
right,
like the
right.
second
Yes,
tax
yes,
sale,
yes.
and you know people that
I know
got
some
enough
guys
money,
buy
you can actually get
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
good deals
Yeah.
for a substantially low price.
Even
Far below
$1,000.
market.
Right,
Somebody
right.
who bought a house in
$500.
Indiana for $500.
Yeah.
Right. It was a dude